The nation's number one talk station, 99.3 Nigeria, info pleasant Thursday morning, the very first day in the month of July 2021. I'm Sheriff Quadry. Nice to meet you, Lagos. If you're tuning in for the very first time, it's the morning crossfire. We usually start from 5, then we end at 9. So this is the last 1 hour of the show. This morning, we'll be talking about alcohol addiction. Because we started a 3-part series last week, Thursday. When we first started the 3-part series of addiction. We started with drugs and substance use addiction and all of that. Now we're going to alcohol addiction. Next week, Thursday, we'll be talking about gambling addiction. So, welcome. Thank you. You can watch live right now on Facebook and also on YouTube. Nigeria Info 99.3 on the 2 platforms. You want to find out whether you're addicted to alcohol. You want to find out whether you have a problem with alcohol. You want to find out whether you don't have a problem. This is the time to have that conversation right now. It's going to be highly interactive. Now, so the high rate of alcohol use in Nigeria has called for serious concern. I mean, medical experts have been, quite bothered about the rate of consumption, the level of consumption of alcohol in the polity. The increasing use of alcohol in Nigeria has been attributed to different factors such as socio-cultural practices, rapidly changing lifestyles, and increasing purchasing power from some people. Alcohol addiction among Nigerian youths has been regarded as, quotes now, a pointer to increased incidence of non-communicable diseases. I have an expert here that will break that down. At the joint event on the 7th World Congress of Addictive Disorders and Addiction Therapy in London, UK, back in July of 2018, it was mentioned that in Nigeria, very little studies, have been conducted to explore alcohol addiction among youths as a major contributory factor to non-communicable disease, NCDs, incidences in the country. Alcohol is one of the most commonly abused psychoactive substances in Nigeria, according to a research. The increase is likely to continue because of increased local production and availability of alcohol in the country. In February 2021 report, World Health Organization ranked Nigeria second on the list of African countries for heavy episodic drinking. In February of this year, WHO ranked us, Nigeria, second on the list of African countries for heavy episodic drinking. The Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, NBS, data for June 2019 also revealed that in 2016 alone, Nigerians spent at least 208 billion naira on alcohol. 208 billion on alcohol in 2016. Compare that to now. Now, this amount was more than the budget of Ondo State for that year. This amount alone was more than the budget of a state for that year. In 2019, Director of Special Duties for the nation's Food and Drug Agency, NAFDAC, Abubakar Jimoh, blamed the high level of alcohol consumption in Nigeria on factors that include relatively unfettered access to the products and the disposition of Nigerians to abuse the bounds of regulation. In his word, let me quote him. He said, many of these alcohol are stored in a sachet, and as such it is predisposing people to more alcohol consumption, which is injurious to public health under the realm of packaging and trying to modernize things. Well, this morning, an expert will be breaking things down for us on this show. So we'll put it in perspectives, all right? You've heard a few numbers. Dr. Omobolawa Akande-Akinyemi is joining us right now. She is a senior resident doctor at the Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Yaba. Dr. Omobolawa, lovely morning to you, ma'am.
It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Oh, wow. Wow, what a voice. Oh, my goodness me. Please approach the mic. Yeah. Okay, how are you today?
I'm fine. It's good to be here. Good to talk about something I'm passionate about.
Oh, really? Do I look like someone who drinks?
It's not. I don't think it shows on
Okay.
when you see someone.
Okay.
It's one of those, what we call all those hidden diseases, all those silent disorders. It's
Okay.
not something you can see by just looking at someone.
What is alcohol addiction?
Well, the technical term actually is alcohol dependence, which is a newer term than addiction.
Okay.
Dependence is a medical disorder in which someone who is using any substance, in this case alcohol, is unable to control his use of this alcohol, regardless of the harm that the person is experiencing. It's a brain disorder. It comes with a particular pattern of changes in the brain, and it has symptoms, and it has treatment and management. So yeah, so that's why it's called a disorder.
All right. That's a very brilliant introduction. But you mentioned something that actually caught my attention, which is the harm. Must there be harm done?
Yes, for it to be a disorder, when they told me I was talking about alcohol this morning, I was like, oh, couldn't you have given me something a little bit easier? Because, alcohol is legal and it's socially acceptable. So a lot of people take alcohol, but not everyone is able to cope with the use of alcohol. For some people, a lot of people that take alcohol, they experience harm. It could be physical harm, it could be psychological harm, it could be social harm. So it is when you start to experience harm from the use of alcohol, then we say that you have a disorder or dependence on alcohol.
Let's look at these two terms. Before we started, we were talking, and I mentioned alcoholic, and you said, no. What's the difference between alcoholism and alcohol dependence?
Okay.
Or is there a difference?
It's not really a difference. It's the move away. Before, when people talked about alcoholism, it was seen as a character fault, as a weakness, as a moral choice, or as a bad behavior, something that but as with more enlightenment, we're beginning to see that it has all, as I said, all the hallmarks of a medical condition that needs to be treated. And so when you put it as alcoholism, so just live with it. But if you say it's a disorder, then you know that it's something that you have to work on and that you can actually treat and overcome.
If I wake up in the morning and while I'm dressing for work, I have to take that one shot, or just say just throw it up there, like every morning I have to take it. If I don't take it, like I'm office today go tough, or I know myself that I have to take it before I can get myself. Does that make me alcohol dependent?
Yes, it does, actually. That's one of the hallmarks of being alcohol dependent. We call it an eye-opener drink. If you have to take alcohol within a few hours of waking up in the morning to be able to function, then it's highly likely that you are dependent on alcohol, which means that you need some intervention to help control your use of alcohol.
Are there stages of alcohol dependence? Are there like, okay, this is mild, this is severe, this is somewhere in the middle?
Yes, there are different, well, not really stages, but there are different types of alcohol disorders. Okay. So the most common one is when the person just during the use of alcohol has what we call harmful use, meaning that when they use alcohol, they're experiencing direct harm from it. They drive when they're drunk and they have accidents, or they are disinhibited and they engage in harmful sexual behavior, or they get into falls and they get injured and all of that. Then they are unable to meet with their responsibilities in terms of work.
Right.
But there is a higher stage, which is what we call dependence, meaning that they've altered their brain chemistry in such a way that they can't function. Exactly how you described. It presents with people like, oh, I have to take it in the morning or else I don't feel okay during the day. So there's that alteration in the brain chemistry, which is one stage of the... Then there's another higher stage when, apart from alteration in the brain chemistry, you're having damage to the structures in the brain. So then you now have, even when you don't take it, there's some long-lasting impact on the brain. You're having memory problems, amnesia, and all of that. So those are it's not really stage. I guess you could say stages in severity.
Yeah. Okay. Now I want to let's take this a bit further, because the reason I asked the question of taking one in the morning, the one that our guys on the street will say, "Fumila Okon," like we have sachetized everything now. So you have alcohol in sachet everywhere. Before a driver in the public park will drive, he will shout, "Take one," like "Give me one," like that. What are the risk factors?
Wow, the risk factors are I don't even know where to start. Well, the risk factors are long term and short term. Okay. The short term is if you're intoxicated and you're driving, your concentration is going to be poor, regardless of no matter the quantity you take.
People feel that they have high tolerance level at some point. Like, no, it's when I take this thing that I will function. Like my eyes will be wide open.
No, science has shown that even at the lowest level, it affects your reaction time. It affects your concentration, your ability to make all those split-second decisions. That's why in countries where they are more proactive about these things, you can't drive, especially if you are driving a particular type of vehicles like trucks or buses, or you can't drive if you have alcohol in your system. And most people believe that they can drive because they drink a lot, that they can tolerate it, but there are changes in their reaction time and in their cognition that make it harmful to them and others.
Indeed. So the risk factors are short term. How about long term one?
Oh, the risk factors. Well, the most adverse complication you could get is death.
Oh wow.
Yes, people that drink alcohol tend to die 10 to 15 years earlier than their
10 to 15 years
that don't drink alcohol. So, and then apart from that, the quality of life that you live, from every condition, from heart disease to diabetes to liver disease to every cancer, has been linked to using alcohol.
How do you know that? How can someone listening right now, they've already started calling me, how do they know that they have, can we call it alcohol? I'm very mindful of my words now. How do we know that they have alcohol problem?
Well, there are some questions you have to ask yourself. The first thing is we have to be honest with ourselves about the quantity of alcohol we are taking.
Okay.
And there's so many alcoholic drinks, so it's hard to know what quantity of alcohol is in vodka, is in those pelebes that you call them.
Yeah. Oh yes, that's what I was using. Pelebe, yes.
Versus what's in a glass of wine or in palm wine. Yeah. So there are different levels of alcohol, but the guideline is that you shouldn't take more than what we call 3 units of alcohol in a given day. And in a week, you shouldn't take more than 14 if you're a man or 7 if you're a woman. And so for briefly, a bottle of beer, Golda, is 3 units of alcohol. Okay. So you shouldn't take more than 3 units of one bottle of beer on a given day.
In a day?
In a given day.
Don't take more than 1?
Yes.
You're not here, Abby. All of you not here. Okay.
Well, so, but that's one essence. And you shouldn't drink every day. If you're drinking every day, then it seems like it's a problem for you. And then if you've ever, people around you tell you, oh, maybe you need to cut down on it. Or when people talk to you about it, you get angry, or you feel guilty about the amount of alcohol you're taking. Or, as I've said, if you're taking an eye-opener drink, then if you notice that you're needing to take greater quantities of alcohol to get that level of highness, then you're altering your brain chemistry. So those are some of the things that you should be aware of.
Fantastic. I'm going to go take some calls before we now call, because I would like to hear from your personal experience, some of the things that you've had to help some people, with when it comes to alcohol. But let's hear from my G's out there. 0700 993 993 993, and my ladies as well, because this thing is not gender based at all. 0700 993 993 993 and 01465 7190. Dr. Omobolawa is here from Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Yaba, and we are talking about alcohol dependence here on Health Thursday Morning Crossfire. Please, you can send us your thoughts also via our live stream on Facebook and on YouTube, Nigeria Info 99.3 on those 2 platforms. And please, if you got questions, just go straight to the point if you're calling in. Frank is here. Frank, hi, good morning to you.
Chief Quadry.
Morning to you.
How are you?
Very well.
You say una the here. So if I want to drink beer, I one bottle I go drink.
How many do you drink?
Now what you go ask me?
Yeah, sorry.
With my own system, if I want fire down now, you go reach 5.
On a seat, Abby.
Now.
So this 5, now the lowest be that, Abby.
No, now my normal. Yes.
For beer, Abby. For beer.
For beer.
Okay.
But for the other one, One glass is okay. Normal. You no go know say something happen.
I know we know, but you go know.
How this thing dey work?
Oh yeah, how?
Do the more research.
Okay.
If I take like one bottle now, you go know say I drink.
Eh.
If I take like 2 bottles, you go notice say me I drink.
Okay.
But if I take like 5 bottles, me and you feel then like one day you no go notice spice something enter my mouth.
But it dey affect your body now.
You know that affect my body. They make me dey strong kakaraka. See, make I tell you. You know say na last I dey drive before the Quadry.
Okay.
That time maybe if you want come on like 7, 8 going to far north or far east. Then you go down. That time you can't dey G. If you come up for it, no. This is why they say I'm robbers they road or not before you. And before 6, 7, 8, you don't pack. You don't reach anywhere where you go. So
you still dey take the 5 bottles, Abby. You still dey take the 5 bottles.
Now.
Now.
No, now when I don't come down, I know they take them again, but I can take all these ordinary gin.
Okay.
But for beer now, I don't take. Like since this year, I never know if I have taken more than 2 or 3.
Okay. But why you can't stop now?
The beer, they make my belly they do like.
Oh, okay. You don't answer one of the questions where I won't ask my doctor. I go ask doctor, no worry, because that thing said, miss. I want know that thing where they make people where they drink get pot belly. Doctor, go try and tell us. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Morning to you.
Yeah, my name is Alex Agbedeshi.
Welcome, Alex. Welcome.
Calling from Victoria Island.
Good to have you.
Yeah, first question I would like to ask Omobolawa is has she ever drank before?
Okay.
Has she ever drank?
Well, I have taken alcohol before. Yes, I have.
Just moderately.
Well, this is a personal question. I used to take alcohol until I became a psychiatrist, and then I weighed the risk benefits, and then I've stopped. So that's the.
Okay, why I'm asking, and this is an advice for the radio station.
Okay.
When you are bringing in somebody to come into this program to talk on very sensitive issues like this, I believe that you guys should try to look for somebody that has gone through that process.
Okay.
That has experienced what it means to be a drunkard or to be.
You don't feel like a specialist in that area is enough?
No, I think yes. What bringing her is okay. Because she will give us the.
No, it's perfect. Actually, it's not okay. It's perfect. But go on. Go on.
It's not perfect.
It is perfect.
What I'm saying is,
yes.
Bring somebody alongside her. She might not even necessarily be an expert in the profession.
Alongside her, okay.
An impact on because some people who have really gotten themselves addicted into this thing have issues that might not be understood by these professionals themselves. Because you cannot know a thing unless you have been in it.
No, that's not entirely true, actually.
Yes.
But
so
thank you.
To sometimes try to bring in people who have experiences of these things, so they can speak to us and make us understand the deeper aspects of this.
Well, we actually do that. As a matter of fact, we do that. There was a time we're talking about prison congestion and prisoners' plight and everything, and we brought in someone who had been there, who spent years in prison, and he shared his thought with us on this. So yes, we do that. But to say that bringing an expert in won't give you that quality that you need. And again, radio station is not the hospital, right? You go to the hospital if you need to get help, not the radio station. Radio station is just empowering you with the information that you need. We're not saying listen
Everywhere
to the radio station.
You go,
okay.
You hear the
I have
face,
to go now.
We move. It's not just words. It's an expression of hope and belief. It's the unstoppable energy of bright minds. When things aren't going as planned, we don't give up. We move. Rejections won't hold us down. Disappointments won't derail us. We keep grinding because every step we take counts. So, whatever you do, never stop believing in you. Turn up your dreams, because whatever life brings, we move. MTN, everywhere you go, we move.
More talk, news, and sports after this. tragic specimen, letting your money to fly everywhere. You can save that money with interest. When it comes to assurance, air's the best. To live your dreams, no matter how big it seems. With Air's Life Assurance, you're assured. There is a plan for you, rest assured. With Air's Life Assurance, you're assured. There is a plan.
Visit www.here'slifeassurance.com to get started. Here's Life. Tell us your dreams.
This is what we live for. To connect with history in the making. To stream every breathtaking moment. To witness Mbappe, Kane, and all the football greats. To be part of the journey to glory. This is where we live the good and the bad. And unashamedly give our all to the beautiful game. Live the experience. Watch all the Euro 2020 action live from Supersport on Showmax Pro. Sign up at showmax.com.
Do you know how the Contributory Pension Scheme CPS works? Do you know it provides you with a pension plan funded by both you and your employer and helps you save money to take care of you as old age? Do you know that these contributions are paid directly into your retirement savings account, or RSA, which is managed by a pension fund administrator, PFA, chosen by you? Do you know that the National Pension Commission regulates and supervises all pension operators to ensure the safety of your funds? Do you know that you can only open one retirement savings account and it is yours for life, even if you decide to change jobs?
And do you also know that you can move your RSA from one PFA to another once in a year?
Well, now you know that the CPS ensures that you are covered with a pension plan that's designed to keep you financially secure in your old age. All employers in both the public and private sectors with 3 or more employees are mandated by the Pension Reform Act of 2014 to be part of the CPS. For more information, visit www.pencom.gov.ng.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info. This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
The nation's number one talk station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Apologies for the abrupt interaction. Well, I'm glad that I got cut off, not my caller or my guest. It's 8:29 is the time from our studios here, and welcome. If you're just joining us, we're talking alcohol dependence on the show today. I'm Sheriff Quadry. We're live on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube, and I can see questions coming through on Facebook and all of it. Dr. Omobolawa, a lot of people, all the lines are buzzing, and for the last caller, I was saying that. Listen, so radio shows or TV shows are not where you get treatment or anything if you have any issue. No, you're expecting too much. What we do is to give you the required information that you need. Then you now take it up and go run with it. You don't have to have someone who has gone through the process, or you must have someone who has gone through the process before you can know that you have a problem, or before you can know how grave the situation is. Come on, man. That's like one thing. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? Exactly. So be decisive on your own. As you see now, Dr. Omobolawa, can you see all my lines?
I can.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. So let's hear more from the people. So we can attend to them one after the other. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Why are you calling female line?
I just want an important question there because of Shayo. Me, I can't do without Shayo. Beer, yes. Because if I'm there in a week, I'm not high. It will be like say I want sick.
Yes, it's like that. That's called withdrawal.
I know study English well, but as I did, I'm 42 years. Hospital, I know they sick. But I have a friend who doesn't take alcohol.
Okay.
Take all these fresh juice, whatever. But every 2 months, he spends over 60,000 naira at the hospital, checking up, either he's having cold, whatever, and everything. But now, he don't join me small now. They take small alcohol. So me kind of wonder, that's myself, as soon as you don't get money
making a checkup himself, they spend 60,000. Sometimes you get too special now, so they can't give and drink.
You feel that is the alcohol that is stopping you from falling
I
sick?
don't know. Maybe that's the system. But me, 2 bottles or 3 bottles every weekend, gam for my body.
Every weekend, Abby?
Every weekend.
Okay.
That's just me. Anytime where I'm not alcohol, 9 business they come.
9 business they come.
I swear, on my own side.
What business is that?
I deal on electronics. So any where I knock alcohol like this, bagam, I'm a walling. So I
So to bat is shasara báyìí ó máa wọlé ṣá ni.
Ẹ̀gbọ́n ó yẹ kó yé yín náà, ó ìkwẹ̀sí hàn tẹ́bẹ̀ nàga. Àwọn ọmọ yẹn mẹ́mẹ́.
Thank you for calling me. Dr. Omobolawa.
Okay, now from what he described, he just takes 2 to 3 bottles over the weekend.
Yeah.
That seems like it's within normal limits.
Okay.
It's not as if he's drinking every day. He's not drinking. That's what we call binge drinking, where you drink at least 5 bottles at a sitting for a guy and 4 bottles for a girl. Now that one is where you have a problem. But if you drink only 2 to 3 bottles over the weekend and you don't drink for the rest of the week, that type of pattern is not something that should be problematic. However, to correct your impression, you're just looking at one person.
Yeah.
That fact that person is falling ill and is not taking alcohol, that could just be an aberration.
And it could be due to something else.
Due to something else. And you haven't gone to run a full checkup for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people walk around not knowing what they are carrying until they come into the hospital and then they do tests and they're like, oh, the doctors, they didn't tell me that. You understand that. So it's always good, do a full checkup, know whether or not your level of alcohol is causing any damage. If there's nothing going wrong, continue at that particular level. 2 to 3 bottles over the weekend. It's not that should not be problematic.
Are there benefits? I'm sorry guys, I'll come to the phone now. Are there benefits of alcohol consumption? Is there any gain?
Well, okay, let me be. This is a question I get asked very often.
Okay.
Initially, it was thought that at very low levels there was some benefit from alcohol consumption.
Okay.
Specifically red wine. But with further research, it's been found out that there are other things that are protective in these people that take moderate alcohol. For you to be able to take moderate alcohol, it means to a certain extent you are very health conscious. So those other factors are what are protective against. But there are some things in red wine that are beneficial, which you can get from grape juice. So you don't have to take the alcohol to get but so there is no real health benefits from taking alcohol.
Let's go with Shola. Shola is Niger. Hi, Shola. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning to you.
Yeah, my first comment. I've dealt with a gynecologist that does not even have a child. She has never been pregnant all her life. And I was with her till I got pregnant for my last baby. I had my last baby at 42.
Okay.
You understand? So bringing in a professional, someone that is experienced, that has gone through it, I don't see that one as anything. But my main question is, I'm not a heavy drinker. Maybe when I'm in midst of my friends, you understand, I just take 1 or 2. But I discover when I take it, my bones are always paining me. Seriously. So I stopped. I just discovered this is no longer my thing. You understand? So I now ask, some people, they will tell you little alcohol for your system is good. If little alcohol for your system is good, and I take it, my bones are paining me. I'm not active the way I used to be. So why taking it? And some will say, don't take alcohol at all. Please, I want her to clarify that.
All right. Thank you, Shola. Thank you.
Okay, so clarification. The guidelines, I'm going to tell you how they say it. If you don't take alcohol, please don't start. Alcohol has no added benefits. If you are taking alcohol and you want to continue, you should keep it at a very low level. There is no health benefit from consuming alcohol at low levels, at high levels. But to a certain extent, alcohol is socially acceptable. It's in our culture. So it's something that we do. But if we're doing it, we must reduce the amount of harm that comes from imbibing alcohol.
Right. Oluwa Tumishe Olamide says, please, I would like to know what is in my system that makes it difficult to take in alcohol. A cup of beer will give me serious headache like migraine, while a tincture of red wine will make me gallop and fall within a minute?
Okay, it's a very interesting question. So there's an enzyme that breaks down alcohol in the liver.
Okay.
And for some people, by virtue of genetics, they have low levels of that enzyme. So whenever they take a very little amount of alcohol, their body can break it down, so it intoxicates them and causes a lot of problem. Chinese people of Oriental descent, have that deficiency of that particular enzyme. So that's why alcohol is not a problem in those settings, because it makes them very uncomfortable and ill when they drink. So some people have that low level of that enzyme.
Is it also okay, guys? I'm sorry. I don't know what to do with these telephone lines, but I have plenty of questions, and I need to. So I've also heard of people's internal system getting them intoxicated. I don't know if you're aware of it. It's a medical condition. I don't know how valid that is. That for some reasons they just get intoxicated for some reason, and they don't drink. They've never drank anything. I don't know if for any of my let's go to telephone, Dr. Omobolawa.
Okay.
Let's telephone. Hello, good morning to you. Oh, I think we lost that one. Nigeria info. Good morning to you. We lost that as well. Nigeria info. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning to you. Morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for the discussion today.
Yes, please.
If we want to talk about alcoholic, I think it should start from the bus stop. Because when you're going out in the morning, the Yauni Paraga is there that will give out shots to the driver that will carry you. So when you even tell the driver, please take it moody there, when you're laughing, so most of the time, we really need, for us to go on a campaign, that is where we should start. That's number one. Number two, have somebody who is drinking. And after drinking, he will throw. But we continue telling this person not to drink. But I'm telling you, I want to ask, should we leave him to drink because it will be a family loss, or what should we do? Good morning.
Thank you.
Okay, so you see, that is a very big issue. When people have a problem with alcohol, they have different ways of coping with it, and a lot of time the damage from the alcohol, apart from to the person, is also to their family members. It causes broken relationships, lost job opportunities, makes them at risk of abusing their family members. When all those drunk men, they could come beat up their wives, be at risk of being robbed and all of that. So it's a really big problem. But the problem with most addiction or dependence is that the person who has that problem doesn't see it. And if you try to take it away from them, they can be very, very difficult and aggressive with people that question them or try to make them stop.
Right.
But as a family, you have to come up with an idea. They'll promise, I can stop it. Are their actions stopping it? Their words say one thing, their actions are a different thing.
Yeah.
If they can't control it, you might have to step in and get them medical help. Drinking to the point of having to vomit, that seems like a pretty severe case. So I think you could come around to our center at the hospital, Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital. You can go to LASUS. You could go. There are a lot of places. You could talk to the doctors, and then they could tell you what you could do to help that person. All right.
Right. We got more coming through. Hello. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
My name is Chike. I'm calling from Abapa.
Welcome, Chike. Welcome.
Yes. Actually, I'm a truck driver, but what that woman is saying, people are saying 1 bottle, 2 bottles. What we took here, somebody can take like 2 crates of beer in a gun.
Wait. 2 crates when?
2 crates in the morning. If you can come around where we park our truck, you see what is happening.
2 crates?
Yes. Finish 2 crates and smoke boy, even with some other drugs. So it's even it's something I don't know. We can't do without it anyway.
Thank you.
I don't know what
Thank you, Chike. Thank you. Dr. Omobolawa, just hold on. Let's bring in Chibi. Chibi is in Lekki. Chibi, hi.
Hello.
Hi. Morning.
Good morning, Sherry.
Morning to you.
Please, I have a question I need to ask.
Okay.
So, apparently, I have this senior friend that he has succeeded in abstaining from alcohol, like completely.
Okay.
But then, in place of alcohol, Pepsi took place. I mean, he takes Pepsi every day.
Oh, you mean soft drink?
Yes.
Okay.
He has stopped taking alcohol for a while, and now he takes Pepsi every day, and sometimes like 2 times a day, like every blessed day. And he's above 50, so it gets me worried. And I don't know. I'm sure it's some sort of addiction.
Okay.
I don't know how.
Yeah. Let me speak with the doctor on this. Huh? We're going to start with the 2 crates. Luxury bus drivers and alcohol mixed with drugs and everything.
Okay, so what they're describing is what is called tolerance, meaning that with time, the amount of alcohol that if I were to drink, I would end up in a coma in the hospital.
Yeah.
They're able to drink it and function. It shows you the level of damage they're doing to their systems. So if you have to drink that quantity of alcohol
my God,
to be able to get intoxicated, you can imagine the amount of injury you're causing to your brain and to your liver. That's on one aspect. Number 2 is they now mix alcohol with all sorts. It's when we do what is called the tox screen, when they come into the hospital to see what drugs are in their system, it lights up. You see the strangest things, newer things to get themselves high, because there's this thing you don't get high with. One of the callers described it. You start with beer. Then beer doesn't get you high. You have to move to gin. Then gin is not doing it for you. You now have to start adding in weed and all sorts of tramadol and all of that to get you high. And so that's why they're able to. But they are not functioning. That's why you see those bus drivers. When you at the slightest provocation, they are aggressive. They are driving roughly. They're involved in accidents and all of that. It shows you there's some disinhibition. That's what it's called. They're unable to regulate their activities, and that has become normal for them. But there is damage going on, there's injury going on, and their life expectancy, unfortunately, is being cut short. Okay.
Now to the second caller of an elder friend who stopped drinking alcohol, then moved on to soda, soft drink, 2 bottles a day must.
Yeah, well, that's a possibility. It's very common for people that are dealing with one problem independence to move to another. People that were smoking, when they stop, they now start eating and then they become dependent on food. People that are dependent on alcohol, moving to something else. So, but for something like that, it is not as difficult.
Okay.
It's alcohol, to quit alcohol. Wow, that person deserves a lot of kudos, because it's not an easy thing once someone is used to taking alcohol to quit it. So if he's been able to quit alcohol with enough knowledge and just a few strategies, the person can cut down on caffeine and Coke and Pepsi easily. That should not be a problem.
And soft drinks generally.
And all of that, yeah.
All right. We'll take another call, then I'll come to you with my own questions. Nigeria Info, good morning to you. Morning.
Hello, good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning to you.
Yes, my name is Doris. I'm calling from Oya.
Welcome, Doris.
I have a doctor for the. I have a question for the doctor.
Right.
Some people say that wine is good for the heart. So is that true? That's my first question. The second question is, how long does it take for the body to get rid of alcohol in the system? For instance, the 3 units of alcohol that is required, how long would it take for the body to get rid of that, in the system? Thank you.
Thank you, Doris. Doctor?
Okay, this question again of the health benefits of alcohol. There is a chemical in alcohol, in red wine, from the pigments called resveratrol, which has been found to be on its own help memory and longevity and all of that. But when you mix it with alcohol, a lot of that health benefit has been negated. So there is no benefit from drinking alcohol. As at now, science is constantly evolving, but the latest studies, and they have done it over and over, no benefit from the use of alcohol. There's still harm regardless of the level. The second question was
how long it takes the alcohol to leave the system.
Okay, so it depends on the quantity of alcohol. The unit of alcohol is defined. It's called the unit because for an average person, it takes them 1 hour to eliminate 1 unit. So
Okay.
if you take 3 units, which is like in a bottle of beer, 3 hours. If you take 5 bottles, then it's 15 hours. So on average, that's how long it takes you.
We're going to talk about pot belly. Then we'll now come to how to handle alcohol dependence. And my calls are so tempting. Is it true that alcohol consumption can give one pot belly?
Yes, I had this argument with my neighbor a couple of days ago, and I explained that most people, when they take alcohol, they don't know that they are taking more calories than is what's in a soft drink.
What?
Especially in beer, yes. Beer is very, very calorie rich. And in addition to the fact that it's calorie rich, it doesn't have a lot of multivitamins, all those things that B complex vitamins that make it easy for your body to break it
things
down.
down.
So there's a tendency for you to store the fat that you take from the sugars that are in beer.
Oh,
I know it
wow.
doesn't taste yummy, but
Yeah.
it does have quite a bit of starch.
Heavy on cal. Oh my word.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, because of time, we'll come to the telephone, but I think we need to touch on a couple of things. How can people manage or cope with dependence on alcohol?
The best is not to even get into it at all. You know, in more advanced countries, in America, you can't buy alcohol until you're 21.
That's right.
Because they believe that there's some form of brain maturity and control. You can't buy alcohol in a lot of places. So it's the best thing is not to even get into it. And if you're in it, you have to be objective with yourself about the amount of alcohol you're taking. Say you should write it down and then try and have an idea. When you don't have a good idea, okay, I am taking 60 units. I had a lady who was married and she came, and when she was telling me, oh, I drink a bottle of gin, and we calculated it, and we found out that she was taking almost close to 100 units. And when her last child had developmental delays and congenital abnormalities as a result of that. So you have to be honest with yourself. How much? They'll say it's not that much. Oh, I can stop. Know how much you're taking. Then decide. If you're someone that you're not having, it's just binge drinking and all of that, you might try to cut down. But if it's something that you're really dependent, you'll have to stop alcohol. So there are strategies if you are dependent. If you are drinking in a harmful way, there are certain things you can do. Always make sure you don't eat on an empty stomach. Make sure that you wait an hour between ordering drinks. Try not to go to places where they're selling alcoholic. Try and find out what is about the alcohol makes it attractive to you. Is it the fact that you're with your friends and you're having a good time? Then try and find other things that make you happy without the alcohol in that setting. There are some strategies that they call them brief interventions for alcohol use that you can do.
Yeah. Talking about alcohol, I know that we can't take this away. There are aphrodisiacs out there now laced with alcohol. There are also energy drinks out there. I mean, they come out almost on a weekly basis, new brands and all. And you see people getting addicted to it. What are the dangers of these? I mean, it's not a new trend, but it's growing bigger and bigger every day.
You know, in my profession, you see alcohol and then it's been repackaged in this beautiful packaging, and they are, there's this joke that says that why don't alcohol companies use their real customers on the billboards, make it glamorous and all of that. A lot of times people take a lot of things not knowing that there's alcohol in it, and then gradually with time, that's how people become addicted to it. So there's a lot of harm. I don't want to, from short term to long term to, as I've said, you could have the cancers and all of that. You could have the social problems. I once had a very influential person who had alcohol problems, and it was causing problems for them at work. They'll get to work and be unable to function. So it can cause harm in so many areas. And alcohol is not really good for sexual performance. A lot of people don't know that, but it actually worsens sexual performance. And for some men, when they now have problems with sexual performance, they now start to believe that their wife they call it a pathological jealousy, and they believe that their wives are cheating on them, and then they now become aggressive and beat up that wife. So it's a common complication of alcoholism.
So all those small bottles, give me one small bottle, all those things that people just shasara before they.
No, it doesn't really help. It's just a misconception. It doesn't scientifically help your it can make you feel initially disinhibited, maybe a bit bolder, but it doesn't really help sexual performance.
Oh, wow. There you go, people. Let's take a few more calls. The phone lines are buzzing out there. Okay, hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Quadry, how are you?
Very well, sir.
Listen, you see, for me, I like what you're discussing there, and I like the explanations of the doctor. But for me, alcohol doesn't matter. I can stay a whole year without touching it.
Okay.
And I can go fall back to it. It doesn't do nothing to me. It's because I just don't derive anything from it. That's why I left. You see, even as I'm speaking to you now, I have alcohols in my room. I have liquors in my room that are upward of 40 years, older than my first child, as I speak to you now. So you see, it doesn't matter to me. But I tell you something. Of all things drinkable that is liquid, I don't think there's anything as sweet as drinking beer, wine. I don't think. It's just how you want to go about it. That's all I can say. But anyway, Doctor, thank you for explanation.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Doctor, is there anything to add there? I mean, so he has liquor in his house as well as 40, and he drinks anyway he like, ceremonial drinking, occasional drinkers. Do they have problems?
Yeah, no, as I've said, a lot of people drink alcohol. As at last census, they were saying about 50% or 50 to 60% of our population is drinking alcohol, but only about 2/3 of them will have a problem.
Okay.
So there'll be that 1/3 that drink and function perfectly well. 2/3 will have a problem of some sort, and then a smaller percentage will now have addiction and dependence problems. So it's very possible that you can drink and function.
All right. Do I have time? Let me see. Doctor, I don't have time. We have to go now. But how can people reach you on social media?
Well, we have a social media handle. I have my own handle, but that's,
you don't want to share it?
I can share it. It's PSCHY.
Okay.
_Bola. And then there is the social media handle of where I work, the Psychiatric Hospital Yaba.
All right, Doctor, we must go. Thank you so much for coming around.
Right.
I'm Sheriff Quadry, Lagos. Bye for now.
Company with the most history worldwide. Are you ambitious, a smart worker? Do you have a great attitude? Ready to take your career to the next level? Here is an opportunity for you. Please call
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's